All right, cool. We are all here. Should we get started?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Cool. Who can recap us?
Let's see. What did we do last session? Uh,
We did not
we
kill
did.
Troy.
We did a bunch of hacking and party infiltrating. That's what we did. So we were on Coruscant. We basically got ourselves set up with our new residence in a fake name. We rented an apartment, like a long stay apartment, or whatever, place in a fake name, rented a speeder, a long-term rental in a fake name, and got to work taking a look further into our couple of different corporations that we had been pointed towards. So I think Kristan did a bit of hacking, and our basic plan was figure out where the after work, which bars and stuff the employees of these firms are going to drink at after work, find any of their after work parties or any after work get-togethers and go kind of be a part of those, kind of jump in and chat with them. One of them, I believe, let's see, I'm trying to remember the company, but we went and got in with one of them pretty well. There we go. Okay, I was in the wrong notes document. That makes a lot more sense. It was the Cirrus Agents was the group that we went. It was a private security group. They were in like a fancy bar. We went in there. Varlo ended up chatting up one of the bodyguard kind of security worker guys. Meanwhile, Troy slipped into the back room and found of this very nice upscale bar and found the back door, or the sort of the back room sabacc game, and got himself in on that card game, and basically worked his way in with one of the low-level executives.
Did I miss this session?
You did miss this session.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So Troy got himself in with the sabacc game, and got in on that guy's good side. Though we realized after doing some investigation, talking with those guys, and a bit more of Kristan's hacking, that okay, this group they're probably not involved. We don't think they're our prime target. They seem to be in areas where the military isn't. So our next group we looked at was the Sinillo Construction Company. We couldn't find any sort of all their sort of after work things basically were like job site by job site. They didn't have any corporate sort of hangouts. So what we ended up doing instead was Kristan found some job postings, and basically got Varlo a job at this company, like a low-level desk job at this company, where we had him basically doing like low-level data entry stuff, but Kristan was doing the work. Meanwhile, Varlo was like at the desk actually there. So he did a bit of snooping around, like harmless wandering around the office and such, and gathering some data. And then at the end of it, Kristan modified one of his little VPN cards to do remote access. And so we ended up having Kristan get a pretty remarkable, I think he had a hard success into their accounting data, and making sense of their accounting data. And we basically figured out like, oh, this is a good target. This is a really, really good target. This company is building something very large at 3 different locations. They're all fairly close to Coruscant, Bletz, Claste, and Gutland. They're all pretty close, and they seem to be coming from 2 primary sources of funding: the Imperial Navy and the Emperor's personal slush fund. Kristan got some very good accounting roles and such in this. We got some very good data. And there are inputs. We realized like, oh yeah, there's some inputs on these, like some of the materials coming in just don't have a cost next to them. Free stuff. And like, no, that's the slave labor coming from like the colonies like Narkina 5 that we just visited. That makes sense. We printed out physical copies of all this data to barter off of the ship's printer so that we have our own records of this. And we basically ended it with let's see, we found out which contact specifically at the Sanillo construction company is sort of the waypoint that this is passing through. It's a person named Ashiv Alos. He's working on Blets, and that was where we ended it. Was getting his name, I believe. So we got a lot of good data in
you guys
in the research there.
Did a lot of stuff.
But that's where we left off, is after Christant had just done the sort of remote VPN card hacking, which used up one of his 3 cards to do that, but well worth it. Well worth it for the data. Also, Ken, Troy spent 8 points of luck, but then he gained 10 points of luck at the end, so you're up to net gain of 2 points of luck in the end at the end.
I should take a day off more often.
He spent 8 points of luck, by the way, to make it into that swanky bar and still managed to hide his holdout pistol. Like the luck check was to do a good job hiding his holdout pistol.
Are my force points regenerated at this game?
Yes, yeah, this is a new scene.
Yeah, that is where we are. Did anyone keep track of what skills? Ben, did you keep track of what skills you were rolling for Troy?
I
can't recall.
I think you had that one.
Let's see, did I write that
I
down?
only rolled.
I'm assuming deception for hiding the holdout pistol.
That was stealth.
You rolled your stealth. You rolled a stealth check for that, and definitely there was a stealth check and I think a persuade check. I'll see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it in my notes. I'm
totally
pretty sure
fine.
I wrote it down.
And honestly, I would also be completely fine if the general rule was, hey, if you're not here, if people are diligent about tracking and want to, note it down, great. Otherwise, you lose the opportunity to build those. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of how we've been running the Lord of the Rings game.
So do you want me to mark stealth and persuasion?
Yeah. I think since if they're ones that it's easy for us to remember, I've got no problem with that. There might have been
I don't want people to feel like, because that was a pain in the ass playing Switcher's character in the
Yeah.
We also learned that Christant is very not comfortable in the speeder. Our speeder trip, by the way, Varlo is flying it because Varlo is great with speeders. Varlo is in the driver's seat. Troy's on the opposite side, and Christant is like strapped in like crazy in the middle, in between us, just death grip, like white knuckling anything he could hold on to. Yeah, he did not enjoy our trip in the speeder.
in all likelihood, if we were in a speeder, you probably took note of Troy in the passenger seat pumping some sort of foot pedal that absolutely does not exist on either side of the speeder. And not doing it like in any sort of reasonable way either.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, Varlo's just like cool as a cucumber. Like, we were having a discussion about how like Christant's like, oh yeah, we could like go in as janitor. Nobody remembers janitor staff. I'm like, I remember the janitor staff. And like, because Varlo's whole thing is like he's a people watcher. That's his job. And we were having this discussion of like what he remembered or didn't remember while Varlo was like flying us around the city. Yeah, that was great fun. Great fun. Also, my lighting keeps changing due to the sun outside, so I keep like tweaking my exposure up and down. It keeps changing.
Yeah, we all have sun problems.
Yeah, because I go from being like a radiant glow,
backlit like a radiant god.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to leave it on this higher one. That way, like, better to be radiantly glowing and then still visible when it gets dim, rather than normal now and like dark when it gets dark.
That's fair.
So I'm just going to leave it right here.
Okay, yeah, so you guys got a ton of info. So I think that, you know, you've got these three systems where Sinillo construction is building stuff. I don't think you've got an in, but you've identified Ashiv as a person that a lot of information is flowing through, and that they're currently working on Blets. So if you wanted to, you know, try to go in person, that would be the way to do that. If you want to do some, you know, intel gathering remotely / electronically, you can try to do that. Although realistically, you've probably got everything that you can get without going there physically.
Can we get some just basic, not like imperial data, but just kind of basic navigational data and like other general information about Blets? Like what kind of place is that? Is that a planet? Is it an asteroid?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, each of these are actually, they are systems. So Blets, Class Day, and Gutlent are all individual solar systems with a primary star and a variety of planets around them. So that being the case, so the Blets system, so Blets primary seems to be the most populated, and that seems to be like a kind of typical Class M planet that's populated primarily by humans. Blets secondary is largely hospitable, but has some kind of nauseous, toxic gases in certain spots. Primarily populated by Rhodians, which are the creature that Greedo is from the first New Hope. And then Blets tertiary is a largely inhospitable magma world, which still has some, you know, sentient life on it, but doesn't participate very much in interstellar trade.
What sort of sentient life?
It is beyond my Star Wars lore, so make up an appropriate lava creature for Star Wars.
Well, I guess that was kind of my question. Like almost everything that it feels like we've encountered has been Star Trek-ish in that there's superficial physical differences, but it's all bipedal humanoids. Are there vastly different things that live and exist in the galaxy that have cultures and civilizations associated with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the short answer is yes. Like the Hutts, for example, are not, you know, they're just slug monsters. So there are definitely other things out there. They're like insectile, you know, 8-legged monstrosity sorts of things. So the vast majority are bipedal humanoid, but there are some rare non-humanoid things. I don't think that there's anything super weird like intelligent rocks. Like
okay, that was kind of my question, because I think lava planet and I'm like, oh, fire elementals, but probably not.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But some kind of thick-skinned, you know, hardy, small.
To be fair, I am like the worst person to be playing in the Star Wars universe. I watched them like once when I was 7, and it just never really resonated. So
nice.
I have no idea. Lightsabers.
Cool. Yeah, Mustafar is a good analog
something
to,
like
Mustafar,
where there's these like thick-skinned like insectoid humanoids that live on that lava planet.
Yeah, okay.
And then Blets Quaternary is largely a jungle planet that is sparsely inhabited by Wookiees.
I'm sorry, I was coughing. You said by Wookiees?
Wookiees. So that's the Blets system. The Class Day system just has 2 planets as well as an asteroid belt. Plastare is the main planet. It's again largely hospitable, although it tends to be cold, and is populated. I don't have the name of the race right now, but it's like the elephant trunk guys, like the keyboard player.
Oh, yep. I'm blanking on the name. I know what that is, but I'm blanking on the name.
When we're talking about hot or cold environs, can you give us a little bit more detail in terms of survivability?
Yes, yeah. If it's so the magma world is like you'd have to have special gear to go there. So Blet's tertiary. Blet's secondary, which is largely hospitable and has some toxic gas concentrations. You would basically be fine if you had some kind of breathing apparatus that would make it a little bit safer. And largely you could, with a little bit of research, figure out where those areas are. And then Blet's quaternary, which is primarily a jungle, it's largely survivable, like just think like equatorial Earth. Clestare, which tends to get cold, is probably like living in Canada, so like again, survivable depending on your definition of survive. Like I don't think that people in Minneapolis are surviving, right? Like I think that they're barely suffering through life because they don't understand that they don't have to live like that. So
but it's not like living on Pluto.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay. Yeah, and if it's something like Hoth, like where it's perpetual winter, you would need specialized gear, that sort of thing.
And is specialized gear like that, is that a generally available and accessible sort of item?
Generally accessible, yes. You guys, I don't think that you have a very clear idea, which is ironic given Kristan's bent. You guys just haven't asked the question of where the money is coming from that's funding like your apartment and your speeder and like all this kind of stuff. Like Ani just has a line of credit for you. So these things are at least currently reasonably accessible to you. You don't know what the limit of your expenditure, you don't know what the limit of your credit line is. Like if you went out to buy a starship, you don't know what would happen.
Right. I guess the direction I was going with that was with the places that we're considering going, this doesn't require finding like a millionaire patron who can get us the icy equivalent of a deep sea submersible or something like that. It's more standard gear that is available to numerous people throughout the universe.
I think that's generally fair to say. Yeah.
Okay.
The I think the major exception,
unless we're trying to go to like a water planet or something like that, where that might be
right. I think the major exception is Blet's tertiary. Like if you wanted to go there, it would be like there was one of the Star Trek movies where they're like trying to deactivate a volcano and have these like heat suits on, sort of thing. So like that tech exists. Getting it is going to be tough.
Got it.
And for slightly more importantly, for your purposes, pretty obvious. Yeah, Kristan?
Unfortunately, I've got to run. So the telehealth can't do it for me. They said I got to go to urgent care. And so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's lame.
Yeah, it's super lame.
Script refill?
Well, the CVS refilled it way early, like earlier in the year, and so I had like more than the supply I needed, and so it ran out literally yesterday. And so they want somebody to look at me and see that it is safe to refill. So
I mean, I guess blood pressure meds, that's fair.
Yeah.
They've been really lenient about that with me. Like I'm like, hey, I want more. I'd like to double up my dose. They're like, yeah, okay.
Are you on blood pressure meds, Ken?
Eric, have you met me? Have you heard me talk about other people? Yeah, I'm on blood pressure meds.
Fair.
All right. Well, I'm going to peace out. But before I do, I will send my current character sheet to Sam.
chopped liver.
And Ken.
You're a sweetheart, man. I will make certain that every skill that we use gets a check mark next to it.
All right. If you kill him, make it good.
Always.
All right.
Of course.
Bye.
See you, Ben. I just noticed when I went to my Gmail that it's warning me that my storage is 99% full.
I finally went ahead and just paid the $3 a month for upgraded storage. I'm not abide deleting things.
Okay, sorry, I'm just populating the other. Yeah, my knowledge of Star Wars beings is not great, so it takes me a little bit of time.
Ortolan is the elephant trunk looking people.
Oh, cool.
By the way, I put a link in the chat.
Thank you.
Also, just for the record, I'm absolutely fine with you doing stuff like, yeah, the guys from the cantina that look like this, look them up on your own later.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will say, I am a little shocked that you did not enjoy Plinkett's Star Wars reviews.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is generally, and this might not be an accurate representation, but like, I don't like punching down comedy. And I feel like making fun of Phantom Menace is like, I'm sorry, that's like easy mode.
Oh, okay. No, I can get that, except it's still punching down at George Lucas, which doesn't feel like an imposition on propriety to me.
Right.
Are you familiar with these, Sam?
I'm not.
I'm going to send you the link. Don't feel like you have to even look at it. I love them. I found them hilarious, but mileage may vary. Because normally I very much respect Eric's views in cinema and entertainment. It's not in this case.
Okay, cool. So okay, so the other systems, so Class Day has 2 planets, Clastare and Clastine. Clastare is generally hospitable, tends towards being cold, has the Ortolan, thank you. Clastine is generally wintry, kind of like Hoth, no native sentient life, although there are like colonies and that sort of thing of a variety of different species. And then the other system, Gutlent, has Gutlent 1, 2, and 3. Gutlent 1 is basically like Mercury, inhospitable towards life, no life there that's known. Gutlent 2 is rocky with very little water. It's primarily mining, and that's populated by Dugs. And then Gutlent 3 is a Class M planet populated by Togruta.
You mind sending that to us? Because I was trying to.
I was going to say, I'll put all this
not
in
that
the
fast.
chat.
Cool.
Yep.
That would be great.
I do have to ask, the Ortolan species, is that just a linguistic similarity, or is there something I'm missing about the horrible eat the drunken birds whole Ortolan diet?
I am not familiar with that.
Yeah, with it being like adjacent to Ortolani.
What's that?
I don't know what your brain is going to. I'm going to an Ortolani sign is a way that we like diagnose a cruciate ligament injury.
Oh no, Ortolan is a songbird that you would drown them in cognac and then eat them whole, and you were supposed to do it with a hood over your head because it was such an affront in the eyes of God to do such a thing.
I've never heard of it.
That's bonkers.
Okay.
It's wild.
You should check your like. This is walk around knowledge for a human being in America, Ken. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong, but
uh-huh.
But I do feel like, all right, hang on. Hey, Sarah, how do you eat ortolan birds?
Susan, are you getting this?
What are they talking about?
Ortolan bird? Is this a thing? No, Ken, I'm getting a weird expression from Susan.
Yeah, I'm getting a weird expression from Sarah. All right, apparently this is not common knowledge that I thought. But the birds that you drown in cognac and then eat with a hood over your head in order to hide your shame from God. How do you, of all people, not know this?
That's a thing.
You know that's a thing? To drown birds in cognac?
No,
Wait.
I didn't think it was
Susan knows. Of course, Susan knows.
It's a
High five for Susan.
It's an innocent creature that you
Uh-huh.
couldn't be eating.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that you drowned it in
I
cognac.
will note my wife clarified her position as to why she doesn't know about this. Looked me right in the eye and said, because I don't believe in shame.
Okay.
All right. I feel like I came out at least neutral on this. Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
I don't know if your set point of Susan knowing something is really a way to validate that people in the world should know this.
Susan, flick him in the ear.
She's giving me the finger.
Okay, good enough.
But I'm right.
I do know some weird ass things.
Okay. Now that we're over that. What is this, Sam?
This is afterward. This is a very amusing. I don't know why Ken's reference to the episode 1 stuff made me think of this, but this is it is a 15-minute recut of it's the entirety of episode 1 in 15 minutes, but cut as though the Jedi are gigantic party animals who everyone's like, oh, not them again. We have to throw them out of the club. But like, it's that vibe from the Jedi. It's amazing. There's a whole series of them that goes through the entire prequels, and the videos get progressively longer. The first episode 1 is 15 minutes. They're spectacular. C-3PO just wants to murder everyone and everything. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Crazy.
It's so dumb. It's really dumb, but it's really funny. I don't know why your thing made me think of that, Ken, but I had
It was
to
also
share.
dumb and funny.
But
okay. So
Cool.
so we got the
Back on
intel.
track.
Yeah, we got the intel on the 3 systems. Somewhat importantly, I don't think you guys know where in the Class Day or the Gutland system the construction thing is happening. You think probably in the Blet system it's happening on primary because that's the biggest concentration of population there. So it might require a little in-person digging, investigating, flying around, that sort of thing, but that's what you're able to get sort of on public access.
Absence of alternative information, my eye immediately falls on Clestinai. If for no other reason than it seems like it would be one of the easiest to knock off our list without running any major risk to our ship or ourselves.
Sure. We do know that the main guy who is their contact is on Bletz, so that's likely the most presence, I would say, if anything. So
But
probably
also,
the most to be found there, but the most risk.
right. And I feel like circling in from the edges, getting some additional potentially useful information might serve us better than what amounts to, in my mind, a direct frontal assault.
So how do we want to go about finding out what Do we want to, is there anything we can do here from Coruscant, or do we need to go do some on-site reconnaissance?
Let's have Kristan determine what of value there is on Klestinai. And perhaps we can take the role of explorers or miners or foresters or something similar that would give us a reason to be there poking about.
Yeah, cool. That's no problem. Kristan can do that pretty easily with computer use. Go ahead and roll for me, just see how successful this is. It's not a hard check.
Sam, you want to take that one?
Sure. Yeah. Surely that passes his computer use check. Regular success.
Okay, great. So yeah, I'll give you both for Klestinai and Plastare. So Klestinai has a reputation as being a place where kind of ne'er-do-wells end up because it's not particularly populated. It's not a major trading hub, so there's not a strong imperial presence there, et cetera, et cetera. There are at least a couple of imperial prisons on the planet that are like kind of dead end sorts of things. Like, oh, that's where you go to serve a life sentence type deal. In terms of things that would bring people there are some crystals that are mined or harvested. It's a little bit unclear. That seem to be like an interaction between frozen water, so normal ice, and some kind of mineral composite that exists on Klestinai. So they're not extremely valuable, but they're useful in some applications. So there's a very low level harvesting operation for those that have some value off planet. And then otherwise, there are some animal, kind of operations. There's some ice fracking, basically for water to be transported off planet for planets that are desert-like, etc. So there are some other kind of commercial activities. And then for Klestare, that is, just kind of cold-ish. So it's pretty cosmopolitan. There's a reasonable number of cities there. There's nothing remarkable about their import-export economy on Klestare. It seems like it's just like another habitable planet.
Would it be out of line right now to have Kristan go ahead and run similar searches on Bletz and Gutland?
Sure. Okay, so Bletz Primary is a pretty well-populated planet. Again, kind of the center of the system in terms of commerce, etc.
Sorry, quick follow-up question. What exactly is Class M?
Oh, sorry, that's a Star Trek nomenclature. It's basically Earth-like.
Okay, got
so
it.
Normal gravity, normal.
But then I realized that I shouldn't make assumptions.
Yeah, normal gravity, normal atmosphere, etc. Rocky, not a air giant, etc. So Bletz Primary is kind of a commerce hub. There's some banking that takes place there. There's a lot of kind of construction things that are housed there. There's a lot of like HR personnel management. It's relatively close to Coruscant, so it seems like it's like if people don't want to pay Coruscant rent, they go to Bletz Primary kind of thing. Bletz Secondary has some harvesting of those toxic gases, which are toxic at normal concentrations, but they can be purified, etc., and have various industrial applications. Bletz Tertiary has very minimal economic interaction with off-planet systems. It seems like there's either nothing valuable there, or whatever is valuable there is not worth the effort to get. So there's probably some trade among the sentient life that exists there, but it's relatively minimal and doesn't concern off-world. Let's Quaternary. The Wookiees on Quaternary are known to be fairly hostile, and so any off-world activities that might be valuable, the Wookiees basically attack and destroy. So same kind of thing, like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. There's some resources that would be useful off-world, but it's not worth fighting the Wookiees for it. And then Gutland. So Gutland 1 is inhospitable. There is some orbital mining that happens of the atmosphere of Gutland 1 because it's very dense in some chemicals that are useful in industrial applications. Gutland 2 is primarily mining, so there's a ton of valuable ores throughout the planet. So there's dozens of mines, all kinds of useful stuff, diamond, steel, et cetera. So very thriving trade for Gutland 1 with the mining ores. And Gutland 3.
Gutland 2.
Sorry, Gutland 2. Gutland 3 is pretty standard commercial planet, nothing remarkable, but lots of off-world trade.
Got it. Garlo, you seem to have a keen sense of the Empire's approach to things. If they're trying to build something and keep it undercover, are they more likely to be on a Class M type planet? I understand that would be easier, or are they actually looking for something that is just barely hospitable that no eyes are going to be on?
I'm gonna do it. Do I need to roll any kind of insight or anything into this?
Yeah, this is not what Varlo's thing is in the
So I could speculate,
military.
but I
definitely can speculate. Yeah, insight sounds like a pretty reasonable roll.
Is there anything that I or Kristan can do to grant advantage on that, like lay out in greater specifics the sort of problems that they would likely experience on each of these less hospitable planets? Kristan specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're trying to get at what Varlo knows
Fair.
natively. I think you guys could all put your heads together and like speculate as well, but if you're like wanting to like, okay, from your impression of the Empire, how would they operate?
So I failed that, and I would like to push it with the risk of being very confident in some potentially very incorrect information.
I would like to remove myself from the results and come back in like 30 seconds and just hear what he has to say with utter certainty.
Yeah, so that you don't know.
Otherwise it's going to be hard for me.
Yeah. Or I can just direct message Eric.
Yeah, perfect. Just send me, just
roll.
direct message me the result.
All right.
Not making eye contact with Sam.
Yeah, I'm directly not looking at the screen so that I don't. I'm trying to not give anything away by my facial expression.
You're good. I'm only making a joke.
Yeah. All right. So to Eric.
I do hope it was really high or really low, though. This is one of those ones that's less fun if it's right dead in the middle.
Hey, it was really high or really low.
Oh, good.
I'll tell you that. It was one of those two things.
Insane. Okay.
Which makes it all the more fun.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Varlo, you have been sent on some assignments to deal with the natives that their resources that the Empire wants, so that they need you to deal with the natives and get some intel and whatnot and figure out like what their cultural customs are so that they can undermine them and get them to not be hostile to the Empire when they move in. And as a general rule, most of your missions have been on relatively sparsely inhabited planets that the Empire has designs on. And your impression is that the military likes to keep their stuff out of the way, and they don't mind burning the resources to get the stuff and the people to those remote locations. And even in your guys' own experience, like Narkina 5, like there's basically nothing out there. So the energy, the resources required to build that prison facility are ridiculous. But like the military solution is just throw money at the problem.
So Varlo's going to convey to Troy that like they would rather spend the upfront one-time investment of building a remote facility rather than the ongoing upkeep of trying to hide a facility amongst a populated planet. That's Varlo's impression.
Does that extend so far as Blet's Tertiary or Gutland 1?
I'm not sure about those. Maybe. I'll say they love their remote, weird locations, but I'm not confident that they love the potentially very expensive upkeep of running a facility on a very highly inhospitable planet such as Blet's Tertiary.
So here are my thoughts. I have a passing recollection of Wookiees, and I don't know from where. Blet's Quaternary or Clestonai seem like they would be our most likely stops given what you've just said, and I would cast my vote for Clestonai.
Me too. That sounds great.
I don't want to get murdered by Wookiees.
I'm going to cock ahead.
That is exactly right.
And try to determine if there's something about Wookiees that particularly sets him off.
Yeah, you do an insight check.
I bet I can't. 83. How good is my insight?
83. Oh boy.
Huh. I mean, my insight's pretty good. Not that good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's based off POW, and you have really good POW, so maybe.
Yep.
Nope. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay. I don't want to make really long-term gaming decisions without Ben here, but I don't think that he would be in particular opposition to this any more so than any of the other awful planets that we're looking at going to. I'm sure he's like, no, let's either go to one of the class M's or cluster I. But
so which of the ones were you primarily proposing here aside from the
primarily Clestonai, not
Clestonai, the wintry one, the like
yeah, let's
really,
go,
really, really cold one.
Let's go play in Minnesota.
All right. Well, we should definitely get some cold weather gear because this is not what I want to be wearing out there. And Varlo gestures to his like office worker clothes that he's been wearing for the last little bit.
This is not something that a pilot who has any real experience piloting spacecraft would do, but I kind of bang on one of the panels. Bartleby.
Yes, sir.
Are you all right in cold environments?
How cold are we talking, sir?
I glance over at Christand.
Christand reports out basically like the equivalent of minus 30, minus 40 degrees centigrade.
Like that cold?
For a short time, sir, yes. I don't do well in storms, though. If there's blizzards and whatnot, my senses tend to get gummed up. And as long as we don't stay still for a long time, I should be okay.
All right. Good enough for me, Bartleby. Do you have any particular concerns or qualms about the Class I system, specifically Clestonai?
Good roll. You've got a skill for Bartleby, I think.
I've got piloting and I have computer.
Yeah, go and roll your piloting.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever gotten to roll piloting yet. Hooray. Been waiting. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Success, 14.
Jesus. Crazy. Okay, and what were you asking again?
I couldn't remember. I was just so thrilled about actually making my 18 clothing check. Specific issues that he's likely to encounter in wintry on planet environments.
Oh, got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
go ahead,
I'm slightly familiar with that planet, sir. I believe that I should be fine as long as the engine power stays up and we don't spend a whole lot of time stationary. Ideally, if we can get out of the wind, such as in a sheltered cave or something, that would be even better for me.
All right. That is what we will.
Is there anything like the equivalent of like a reflective blanket? I'm thinking like a giant, throwing a giant tarp over the ship, like a giant reflective tarp over the ship or something of that nature to like.
Oh, cool.
So that like at the very least, it wouldn't get snow all up in the crevices of everything and gum up all his sensors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not
I know that would be a very, very large tarp of sorts.
I mean, that's definitely something that exists. It's basically a big car cover.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like a giant car cover to keep him from getting all gummed up with snow in the event that we do need to park where the wind hits him.
It's got to be black and lacy. You understand? maybe some pink bows.
Cool. Yeah, why don't you guys take a minute to think about what all you want to get? I'm going to take a quick break.
Yeah, cold weather. Okay, so cold weather gear. We're getting obviously clothing, parkas.
Good news. My survival skill should actually apply to this sort of.
Nice. Mine is worthless for this. I have urban survival.
I have survival
and the worst really bad score. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, mine is urban survival and it is only 6 points. I have a 6 in urban survival. Do not count on me for 19. Survival. Do not count on me for survival.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to really need to gear up.
Yeah, Kristan does not also. Kristan just doesn't have any specific. He just has survival written down, but he only has a 14 in whatever kind of survival it is. So yeah, none of us are great with survival rolls. So I'm thinking, like cold weather clothing, obviously, like parkas and that kind of, and like cold weather, apparel.
Get like a giant survival droid that can like set up camp and provide heat. And
I was thinking like some kind of heater of like just a portable heater of some variety to just, obviously we're not going to be starting a campfire, off of the non-existent, any wood, if we did find wood, would be like wet with snow. Like, so some sort of like portable, like electric or some other power source heater would probably be useful.
None of my force powers really are relevant to this. Well, resist pain, I guess. I can put up with a lot of unpleasantness.
So a giant tarp for the ship. Do we need, I'm trying to prepare for eventualities here. If we end up with the ship like freezing over, is there anything we can do to unstick it? Or is this just like a don't let that happen kind of situation?
I think maybe we're approaching this from the wrong direction. Because none of our characters, and I'm kind of thinking none of us as people are like super adept at figuring out what we should be doing or getting here. Maybe we need to hire a guide.
Honestly, that would not be a bad idea.
I'm going to kind of push in that direction. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab some food.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What was?
I was going to say, we would just need to think of an angle of like a reason we would give to need a guide. So just ponder that as you're.
So,
some weird form of tourism or.
No. They said that there's like the weird crystals there, and that they're a niche market, but they're not a non-zero market. So maybe that's the trade that we're trying to break into, because we're so down on our luck that going to like this winter hellhole seems like a good approach. And we could even partly that a little bit further, have a secondary cover story where if our, hey, we're crystal farmers, gets poked at a little bit too much, that then it becomes apparent that, oh, we're ex, smugglers or drug dealers or something else that is relatively low level, but gives us a reason to want to operate for a while undercover while the heat dies down.
Yeah. I like that.
Like it?
I like that idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I'm down.
What'd you guys settle on?
So we discussed the fact that we are all abominable at survival. Between the three of us, I think our 3 survival scores together total maybe in the high 30s.
Awesome.
And because of that, potentially doing something like hiring a guide
Yeah, for sure
would be a good investment of money. Granted, doing something like that would require a cover story of like why we need a guide for this place. Yep. So our plan was, we're maybe not the greatest of entrepreneurs who are just looking for any opportunity. We're like, all right, we are like not amazing entrepreneurs who are to the point that we are looking to get into the not amazingly lucrative crystal business on this frozen hellscape. And thus we're trying to, us clearly not acclimated to this kind of environment people are looking for a guide to show us around the planet and the sort of operations to be had there. That's our idea.
Okay, cool.
Since we're all awful at survival.
Yeah. I think that from Kristan's research already, again, being a location for ne'er-do-wells to kind of come, there's not a lot of job opportunities. So being a kind of native to help visitors survive, especially like you're saying, like trying to get into the crystal business, this seems totally plausible.
Yeah. We just have to make sure that we hire a guide who's the kind of guide who will actually take us around and not, oh, I'm a guide, and just takes us out and kills us out in the wilderness and takes our stuff.
Yes, that is true.
That is the kind of guide we need to avoid.
Yes, exactly.
Especially given the nature of the populace on this planet being a haven for ne'er-do-wells.
Do
you hear that, Ken? Do you hear our discussion there? We were talking about how Eric said, yeah, that's totally plausible, of like going and hiring a guide there, like a local guide to take you around and stuff. My concern was like, we just need to make sure that the kind of guide, because the people on that planet are known to be, that planet is known to be a haven for ne'er-do-wells. We just need to make sure we get the kind of guide who will actually take us around, and not the kind of guide who will take us out in the wilderness and murder us.
I think I can assist with that. I've got a pretty good read on people.
Yeah, you and me, between you and I think we can probably get a reliable person. We can suss out who is a reliable person between whatever that is that you do and my gut instinct for people. I think we'll be okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's so you got the ship cover. You can get some basic warm weather clothing.
Parkas and other like apparel. Exactly. We also mentioned like some kind of portable heater, like a small
cool.
Because there's going to be no building of campfires in this wet, damp, snowy place. Right. Like some sort of small portable heater would be good to just not freeze to death.
You guys can each get, if you want to add it to your inventory, a portable heat torch. This is basically a foot-long cylinder that's about 2 inches in diameter and has a bulb in the middle, and you activate it by breaking the bulb, and then put it down, and that heats. It takes it has its own energy source, but then it uses the ice or snow to refract the heat and generate more heat without melting the ice or snow.
Very cool. But they're basically, you break it like a glow stick. It's like you crack it and it's used, and you're not like recharging this. It's like a disposable.
Exactly. Yeah, but it'll last for a few hours, so it's like a good kind of survival.
It will get you through the cold, freezing night.
Yep. Cool. Great. Any other gear you guys want?
Flares or beacons in case we do get separated.
Oh yeah, some way of visually contacting one another in the snow.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and add a flare gun with I mean, you can have as many rounds as you want. I think 3 would be reasonable.
Yeah, like a couple of charges.
Yep. But you guys also have comms, so
we do have comms.
You do short range communication, at least within a few miles.
Yeah. Just waypointing of like, I'm on the snowbank. That's not, being able to visually see, I think, is probably good.
How reliable are comms, particularly in the event of extremely adverse weather conditions?
Extremely adverse weather conditions is going to kill their range pretty substantially unless it's routed through Bartleby.
Okay.
Yeah, the blizzard's going to probably make if we get caught in a blizzard, our range is probably going to drop very, very low.
Yep.
Cool. I would like, before we head down, for Kristan to look up native life forms on Kleskanai. I know there's no sentient life.
Are
there, like, what are the particular hazards that we're likely to encounter?
I see. Cool.
I see. Wildlife. Yeah.
Let's do investigation for this.
For Kristan?
For Kristan.
Want me to roll it?
Alrighty. Sure. Go for it.
I got a 27.
That's pretty awesome.
His investigate is 76, so that is a hard success.
Wait, hang tight for a second, because that might... Yeah, I'm not going to spend 12 points of luck to bring it to extreme, I don't think. Not without Ben here.
No. Cool. So you guys get a few pieces of information. So it's even on hard sex, I don't know that I'm going to say if it's native there or not, but that at least living on the planet right now, there are a variety of creatures that I need to look up. So there are definitely tauntauns. There are some kind of horrible bear monster, whatever it was that attacked Luke.
Wampa.
Thank you. There are also some small bird flying creatures that go out kind of between blizzards that are called Peast, P-E-S-T. And then Kristen actually discovers that there's pretty substantial glacial caval system. So the glaciers that exist have cracks in them, and those cracks kind of connect, and there's like this whole underground network basically that there's a reasonably thriving ecosystem down below there.
We probably want to avoid that unless the topside weather is so bad that we're forced down, because I would imagine that that's where the major predators are.
Yep. Yeah, and
that seems good.
Yeah, so in amongst that whole network, there's a whole thriving ecosystem. You get like a list of like common creatures. It looks like they're all mammalian, warm-blooded sorts of things. They're all in the small to medium size range, except for the wampas, the tauntauns, and there's some kind of cold temperature snakes that also live in that ecosystem that are called Fisan. Fisan with an F. So yeah, it looks like there's a surprisingly thriving ecosystem on this planet, even in spite of the cold temperatures. I think with that hard success on investigation, Kristan figures out that like the energy source is twofold. One, obviously, there's solar, but it seems like most of the energy that enters the ecosystem is from thermal vents, from kind of volcanic activity deeper in the core, and that contributes to like the whole network of the caves in the glaciers. So there's like lichen and plants and like things that don't require sunlight down growing on those thermal vents that then support herbivores that then support the larger carnivores.
Gotcha.
It seems like the settlements, the three major ones I'll tell you, I'll put in the chat, are Station Aeon, Terminus Arkel, and Oracle Terminal. It seems like they don't like interact very much with the native life forms. Like those, all of the settlements are superficial on basically mountain tops, because all the water is frozen. So the areas that we think of as ocean is frozen, and just the land that projects above those frozen glaciers is stable enough for a settlement. So all the settlements are on these kind of rocky islands, basically, that are functionally mountaintops surrounded by glaciers.
Is there, if you go far enough down, is there liquid water?
By the thermal vents, there definitely is.
Okay. Let's stay away from that too. That sounds like the worst of both worlds.
I concur.
All right.
By the way, I found a really amazing link here, Eric. If you ever need random creatures,
cool.
It is Star Wars Creatures by Habitat. I was like, that's handy.
That is handy.
Because I don't know most of these creatures either.
That's great, yeah. And I don't always know the direction you guys are going to go in, so
right. We just kind of randomly spring things on you. So.
Right. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so that's what you guys get off of Calistene.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's pretty
well,
good.
I think we should I think we've got what we need. More or less got our supplies. We can just leave our how long are we thinking we're gonna be there? How long does it take to even get there? Actually.
Yeah, so all of these systems are relatively close to Coruscant. So at hyperspace speeds, it'll probably just be like 2 or 3 days, not very far at all.
And is there anything in particular that we have to do in terms of protocol or passports or anything like that to travel from planet to planet?
Ooh, that's a good question. As a general rule, no. If you're posing as your cover, right? So you don't need any papers for Calistene because it's not like Imperial, it's all below the table sorts of stuff. If you guys wanted to go to like Blet's Primary or something like that, you wouldn't need a hard to get visa, but you would need some justification for being there, and that would go through official channels, etc.
There is a border. It is controlled.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. Whereas in Clestine, it's like, nope, just land wherever the fuck you want on this planet because no one wants to go there.
Cool.
All right. What would be involved? And I know that this is almost undoubtedly like way outside of our current skill set or equipment, but like a planetary scan to see all the different locations, areas of activity. Like what would that take to get something like that, or is that just so far outside of the realm of possibility that it's kind of like asking for a planetary scan of Earth?
No, I mean the tech exists. It's almost exclusively military applications or commercial applications where they're doing resource research, like what minerals are buried 2 miles below the crust here, sort of thing. So so the technology exists.
Is it acceptable to us? Unlikely.
Tranquility is too small. Bartleby's processing is too small to accommodate it.
Oh, sure. No, I'm kind of more thinking into the future. If this is something that we're going to, progressively be exploring more and more worlds, we might want to eventually look into like the creation of a shell company or something similar that could justify the use of that sort of technology.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, Kristan's accounting skill is insane, so Shuttle Corporation is not a problem, or Shell Corporation is not a problem, and there are legal ways to get this thing. Again, you don't know what the limits on your credit from Ani is, but
probably not enough to establish like a multi-stellar corporation. Just on giggles.
Well, again, I mean, on paper, Kristan's like, I can do this on paper,
on paper, sure,
yeah.
Making it actually exist is a different thing.
No, that's
making
actually
the
a good
paperwork
thought, though. Like,
say
if we
that
find
it
that we're regularly doing this sort of mission, then yeah, having such a shell corporation and even just like going to someplace on Coruscant and being like, hey, we need to replace our deep crust scanner. Obviously you'll be paid for it, but we need this right away. Can you fix it? I don't think that's necessary for right now, but if this is going to be like an ongoing thing, something just kind of hold in the back of our heads.
Yeah. Otherwise, Bartleby and the Serenity have relatively straightforward scanners. So Bartleby can tell you things like size of other ships, if he's approaching a planet, like life signs as you're coming into the atmosphere. Okay. You can't do anything out of the atmosphere, but like his range is, I don't know, 5 miles or something. And it's not specific, right? He would be like,
there's a large population of something over in that direction.
Right.
There's probably a settlement.
Yes.
Okay. But no, it's really good to know.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking like basically the limitations of Luke's X-Wing. So like when he was coming into Dagobah, it's just like, I don't know, there's life forms all over the place here. So it's not particularly powerful or precise, but on something like Clestine would be pretty freaking useful, because the surface.
Let's not land right next to the Wampa.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Good call.
And then otherwise, Bartleby has some ability to scan. Cats are fucking with Susan. Bartleby has some ability to scan the land directly beneath him. So as the ship is flying around, it can scan below, like a couple 100 feet and give some pretty reasonable like topographical information.
So we might be able to find a cave doing that. Like,
yes, exactly.
Go like flying around and scouting for a bit, trying to find a cave to land in. Would be a not unreasonable thing.
Should be our approach. We want to find an area that doesn't have like immediate large life scans and that does have a cave that we could conceivably enter.
And then you can also push Bartleby's capabilities with a successful roll. So
yeah, pushing our spaceship doesn't seem like something that we want to do other than in the most dire of circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll your pilot Bartleby skill basically and try to expand, like get broader range, et cetera, but you're not very good at that.
That is very, very accurate statement. Cool. I'm down to head on over to Clestonai.
Great. All right, you guys power up the Tranquility. Get everybody on board. You got your gear, and you've got coordinates, no problem. It's all public access sort of information, how to get there. There's a safe, regular hyperspace lane to the Class A system. Yeah.
Sorry, quick note. My pilot Tranquility roll that I made was actually a hard success. I did not include the +10 piloting module that we have, and that kicks it to exactly.
Oh, I forgot about that thing.
I forgot about that too.
I don't know that it matters at all in this particular case, but
what I can't remember what you were asking, Bartleby.
It was something about it was basically, hey, can you handle
that's right. Yes. His knowledge about Clestonai. Okay, so on a hard success, what other useful information could Bartleby provide? He will provide you some more detail about the level of storms that he can handle.
Okay.
That's good to know.
routine sort of snowstorms, which happen pretty commonly on Clestonai, he can fly through without a problem. Even a really strong blizzard he can get through for a very short span. So like if you happen to fly into a blizzard, it's not instant death, but he's going to need to land pretty quickly. But he can also alert you to the weather. Like that's one of his sensor capabilities, is like detecting weather. So if you're in like a windstorm and it's going to upgrade to a blizzard, he will have some forewarning of that.
Are there storms on this planet that would be like, oh, we landed in the wrong storm, it tears our ship apart instantly?
No. Okay. The wind speeds are not that harsh on Clestonai.
Okay, good deal.
Because that would basically make it uninhabitable.
Cool.
So you get more detail about the weather conditions that the Serenity can or the Tranquility can handle. Yeah, I know. Susan said, haha. I think Bartleby will also share on that hard success that he basically has two options when landing. One is to power down completely, and one is to maintain like residual power that makes the takeoff relatively quick. If he powers down completely, he's just a block of ice as far as other like indigenous wildlife are concerned. If he maintains enough power to be able to take off quickly, he will begin to attract attention from the native wildlife over time.
That makes sense. I do have one mechanical question, and I think I already know the answer to this, but okay, so we have this piloting module that gives us +10 to piloting. Is that and my normal piloting skill is 18. Does that mean that my piloting skill is 28, or does it mean that I roll the die and subtract 10?
I have been imagining it as you roll the die and subtract 10. But okay, if you would rather it add to your pilot skill,
very good with that. But I do want to note, and that was what I would kind of like too. I do want to note that changes that 14 that I rolled to a 4. And if that was the case, I would spend my point of luck to get the extreme success.
I mean, if you, it's your life, live it.
For 1 point of luck to go.
Yeah, for 1 point of luck, yeah, I would take that. I would take that any day. I don't know that I don't know if there's that much more to be gleaned.
I know. I was just thinking.
Well, here's what I would like to do. Can I just make a note on my character sheet that that Bartleby has an extreme piloting success regarding this planet, and that may become relevant at some point in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that'll affect the potential difficulty of future knowledge things. So on that extreme success, I will say that Troy is able to like prod Bartleby and like, punch in some codes and whatnot. That Bartleby has been to a planet of this same class before and has navigated it successfully and knows basically the terrain features that are particularly dangerous. So you guys were talking about landing in a crevasse to keep him out of the wind, which is good, but glaciers move and the risk of the crevasse collapsing and calamity ensuing is not insignificant. So Bartleby actually is going to be able to identify relatively stable glaciers and also to be able to identify those rocky islands that are just covered in ice, which are different than glaciers, and so get you a landing area which is much safer in terms of structural stability.
Perfect. That's absolutely
Wonderful.
worth 1 point.
Wonderful. Yeah, totally worth it.
That's insane. I totally wanted your ship to fall through a crack in the ice. Come on, who doesn't want that? It's straight out of Mandalorian.
Yeah, I was thinking the Mandalorian episode with the ice. That's exactly where my head was at.
I mean, I'm relatively used to losing Bartleby.
Yeah, that's just because you can't remember where you woke up the next day, though.
Frequently, yeah. No, I lost him in the medical facility.
Oh yeah. How is Troy handling his habit, by the way, on Coruscant?
Ready access to everything is here, for the record.
Exactly.
Everything is here on Coruscant.
Well, I'm sampling everything that I can safely dip my hands on then. I didn't know I had access to everything.
And this is like Galactic Center.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not an idiot.
Right.
I'm an addict.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's better living through chemistry to be had, I am absolutely, selling my services on the corner while we're doing our research.
Cool. Love it. That's great.
Are the rest of us aware of this?
I don't know. Do you have any death sticks?
I do not.
I'm not seeing why Troy would be sharing any of this with you.
Yeah, you can actually no, this is definitely a thing that Varlo is pretty competent at
I'm gonna say, basically, has he noticed Troy's behavior? Like, oh, after Troy is gone for a couple hours, sometimes he comes back acting a little different.
Yeah, do a perception check.
I am strongly considering spending. You know what? We're gonna spend a couple points of luck and turn.
You
that
could also push
and,
if you wanted to push this.
It's already a success. I just want to make it a hard. It's only 7 points off a hard success.
Oh my god! Okay.
So I'm gonna spend a couple of points. So, yeah. You know what? It's worth it. Worth it. I'll spend a couple of points of luck and turn that into a hard success.
Awesome. So Troy, what does Varlo see in Troy's like patterns of going out and coming back and those kinds of things on a hard success?
They're increasing in frequency, and he is more and more frequently talking about the awesome people that he met and has been interacting with. So it kind of seems like he's not just ramping up his drug use, but he's also starting to get a little bit careless about who he's interacting with. I will note that's more for flavor than for I'm out there deliberately sabotaging our mission or anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Varlo, you've seen this before. Like, you know exactly what this is. Yeah.
You probably
he's not going to bring it up to Kristan's because Kristan's a nervous wreck as it is. And he doesn't want to give him any more reason to be worried and anxious, so he's not going to mention it.
With a hard success, you probably also know that it would be a good idea to get me away from this level of civilization within a relatively short amount of time before I start compounding my errors and lapses in judgment.
Yeah, so that's yet another reason why heading off to a remote, wintry wasteland is not a terrible idea.
This is why Ken only visits Mardi Gras for like 5 or 6 days and not for 2 weeks.
Nice. Great. You guys power up the Tranquility and head to Clustene. The journey is pretty uneventful, clear hyperspace lane, no risk of piracy or anything like that this close to Coruscant. You come out of hyperspace, you see that Claste, the star, is a white dwarf, and it's orbited by 2 planets, which are pretty obvious to separate out. Clastare is the closer one, getting more heat, etc. Clustene is substantially further away from the star, but has a relatively normal orbit, normal spin, so that there's a day-night cycle. And yeah, you guys come in on approach to Clustene. Nobody challenges you or hails you whatsoever. Kristan figured that Station Aeon would probably be that's the largest one, so that would be probably the best place to land in terms of finding a local guide. There's at least a spaceport and some trade there. The other 2 are, there is technically a spaceport, but it's like it would be weird for a ship to land there, so you would be probably drawing more attention.
Is our plan here land at a spaceport, pick up a guide, head out into the wilderness?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, great. So you guys come in and land at Station Aeon. Actually, anything you want to do before you land on the planet?
Could we go ahead and do some preliminary scans of like locations we might want to land and get some ideas from Bartleby of like potential, like if we were looking for caves to land in, or like
or clusters of these somewhat valuable crystals, like where do we go to find that?
That Bartleby is not going to be able to get you. That's going to have to be boots on the ground, digging into the glacier kind of thing. Although you realize, it's not that much of a leap. It's going to be in the intersections of the glacier and the islands, because that's where the minerals and the ice kind of intersect. So like in the middle of the glacier, you're not going to find this stuff unless you go deep down, in the cave system.
On our approach to the planet, is Bartleby reading any unexpected activity away from civilization centers?
Go ahead and give me a piloting check.
Yeah, is there like weird
tracking 10 from what I roll? That would give me a 22. Hang on.
Jesus.
I'm going to spend my 4 points of luck to make that a success.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
Making that really low piloting skill actually
work. Right? Make that low piloting work for it. Yeah.
It occurs to me that one thing about this that is worth considering, if you are low enough on a low skill roll, it almost makes more sense. Like I could spend, instead of 4 points of luck, I could spend 13 points of luck, make it a hard success, or I could spend 19 points of luck and make it an extreme success. And you know what? I'm going to spend my 19 points of luck and make it an extreme success.
Yeah, because I guess if your skill is low enough, the difference between a normal and an extreme is a lot shorter because it's such a small range. That's a very good point.
All right, well, fuck me. We just won't have an adventure next time. Yes, you find the secret Imperial mining colony, Ken. Thank you.
We don't have to. It just seems like that makes sense to do.
No, I love it. No, I love it. No, this tickles the heck out of me. Yeah, I mean, if Susan's laughing, I'm having a good time.
Okay, cool. Because my goal here is not to like spoil the adventure.
Right. No,
but
no,
I am
no.
also super keen on, okay, great, we found it. Now we get to infiltrate it and see what's going on.
Exactly.
That seems...
Yes. Yeah, no,
that just changes what kind of guide we're looking for.
Right. Yeah, that is insane.
Now
so,
instead
yes, of course, on Klesne, there is burrowed into one of the larger mountains, a network of caves that the Sanillo Corporation is probably using for a variety of construction projects that are very much out of the way. It's probable that the locals know about it. But anyways, yeah, Bartleby is able to pinpoint this, no problem. And on extreme success, you also get like an image of the glacier system around this mountain. So you can approach it a variety of ways. You can, you're able to pick up that there is actually a landing platform for cargo shuttle size vessels, which obviously the Tranquility is way smaller than that. So there's a landing platform very cleverly concealed, so it wouldn't be visible, from normal flyby. You can have to fly like through a crevasse and then through the glacier and then come up under it. So you're able to scout that route without a problem. Bartleby also sees that there are a couple of alternative routes through the glacier where you can fly through the cave system and get very, very close to the installation entrance so that you could land and kind of hoof it from there.
How big is this installation? And what I'm really going for here, rather than like size, is it conceivable that the three of us sneaking up on them could take out this installation? Is it that small, or is this like well beyond that scope?
No, it's big.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big. It's at least as big as the prison on Arcana 5, if not
Jesus.
larger. Yeah.
Okay.
There's probably tens of thousands of people working in this thing.
All right.
But it goes down, maybe a mile, maybe 2. Like, you're not exactly sure how deep, even on extreme success. But it is a massive facility. And that also, Chris Stand is like, oh, that tracks with the numbers that I was seeing, that like the amount of money that was going to the Sanillo Corporation or Sanillo Construction is consistent with this size of operation.
Okay, we've done really well so far.
This just changes what kind of guide we're looking for. We're no longer crystal hunters in search of business opportunities. I think we go with your backup plan, Ken, which was the backup plan that we discussed while you were away, Eric, was like, if our cover got blown with that we're some like low-level smugglers, and basically the cover, what we used to get onto an Arcana 5. I'm thinking like we could just pose as something like that again, looking for opportunities, and thus have a reason to want to go to an Imperial facility or near an Imperial facility.
I'm gonna say no role required, Varlo. You seeing this thing, you're like, oh, this is so. First of all, 2 things. 1, it's not an Imperial facility. It's not run by the military. It's run by a private corporation. 2, they are really wanting to keep this quiet. The efforts,
right? Given how hidden it is in the landing,
and how like what a pain in the ass it would have been to build this thing, and to build it keeping it secret from the locals. The efforts involved in this project are substantial. So you're like, no smugglers should know about this. Like, that would
have to give some serious thought to how we're going to infiltrate this place.
Right.
Maybe we're Imperial taxation officers.
That's a ballsy move.
Go ahead and do an accounting check.
Decide on this would have to be.
Give an accounting check for Chris Stand.
Sure.
You want to hit that one, Sam?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I really want to push this roll. I was so close.
Okay.
His accounting is 70.
Yeah.
I rolled a 79.
So pushing
Oh gosh,
this,
he has so much luck. Holy moly.
You just don't push because there's failure associated then.
I was gonna say, I can just say Kristan has 73 points of luck. I think spending 9 points of luck to make that a success is not unreasonable.
If Ben objects, you and I can go ahead and give him from our
That's
luck
fine.
pool.
That's fine.
So spend 9 points of luck to succeed.
Cool. And to be clear, the rest of you can also roll accounting, but I just I
You know
go
what?
for Kristan.
I will go ahead and roll it just because
Okay.
there's always that chance that, new eyes on something.
Yeah. And you've got
Yeah, I mean-
actually you've got a pretty good accounting.
Yeah.
My
64
accounting's
probably. Oh, I'm sorry.
pretty poor.
Yeah, 64 ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, I've on a meta level, I've already rolled accounting this set, so I don't need to roll it to try and improve.
Right.
My accounting is trash, so I don't think Varlo's gonna be of any help.
Okay, fair.
His accounting is 28.
Yeah. But again, not trash. Like Troy's piloting skill is ridiculous.
That's true. Okay, you know what? We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see if I can roll under a 28.
You never know what you're gonna
No,
get.
41.
Okay.
No. We tried.
All right, so Kristan, as Troy is like, oh, can we go in as like taxation analyst? Kristan is like, we couldn't go in as taxation. This wouldn't be a taxation issue. However, the amount of money going through here is substantial, and they would want to keep track of
Auditors.
Yes. So
I love it. I've always wanted to be an auditor, not in real life. That sounds horrible, but as in a game, being an auditor, they're going to be so nice to us. They're going to be scared of us.
This is a ridiculous power fantasy, Ken. I've always wanted to be an auditor.
I mean, my wife made all of my other ridiculous power fantasies come true. I don't have a lot left.
Holy shit,
Amazing.
that's crazy. So yeah, Kristan is like, yeah, we could be auditors. The main problem, Barlow, I think you and Kristan putting your heads together realize is that the Tranquility is clearly not an Imperial vessel.
Right.
Auditors would be coming in on an official, like the classic Triforce kind of, I don't know what the name of the class of ship is, but what they're always flying around in.
No. We can work around that with a little bit of deception. We could be. Let me think on it a little bit, but I think that we've got some real interesting pathways to make this happen.
Is it worthwhile still going to the local settlement and just getting an ear for what they know? Or not trying to get information out of them of just to see if they're aware that this exists. Is this something the local population is aware of and involved in, or is this something that's being hidden from the local populace? Is there value in knowing that? If they are or aren't aware, does that change anything?
I don't know that would change anything. I mean, there's certainly some value to be had in knowing that, but there's some risk also. I think I would like to confer a little bit with Ben before we make our final decision. I know we've still got 20.
No, I think I was getting close to wrapping.
I was
anyways,
gonna say that seems like the kind of thing we need Ben for to make a decision on, because that's a big decision right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, our crystal harvester cover may not be strictly necessary, though it might still be valuable to keep that as an option, but I'm not sure if we still need to do that or not. But I do love the idea of posing as auditors. That is a
Or
very good idea,
maybe-
but don't know how we make that happen without a ship.
No, I'm thinking that maybe an advance of the regular auditors, and that we're here to give them warning about the upcoming audit, even though we're kind of unofficial. I'm still thinking through like details here, but I think we can come up with something that explains our presence here and ingratiates us to them even more than we normally would be.
What if we are, this is a dangerous play, but what if
Eric and I both get the same smile on our face?
What if we are completely unaffiliated with the Empire, but we somehow know of this facility, and we somehow know that an audit is approaching?
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Yeah.
And we are basically ingratiating ourselves to them by giving them an advance heads up of an upcoming audit that they like a surprise audit that they are not aware of. Better yet, if we can figure out if and when such an audit might actually be occurring and time it ahead of it.
That's easy, because we could actually, using Kristan's accounting and computer skills, we could probably trigger an audit on this place.
Oh, do something sketch that warrants getting audited.
And then
so
warn
them of an
about
upcoming audit, and then promptly actually get them audited by messing with their books.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's a risky move, because there are a lot of unexplained questions as to how we know the audit's coming, how we know that they're even there. Like, that leaves a lot of dangerous questions, but that's
boy,
that is an
I
angle
love
we
the
could
overall thrust, though. I think
that
that's
is an
cool.
angle that we could take.
This game is fucking crazy. Okay, so we're gonna
what
call.
happens when we have just free reign to do like random
right?
crazy ideas.
No, this is amazing. I think we are gonna call a milestone there, so
Cool.
we can roll for skill level ups.
Ooh,
and
cool.
luck.
Okay.
All right. So skill level ups.
See what I've got.
All right. I'll roll my luck first. I'm just gonna roll a luck first just to see, because that one's the easy one. Oh yeah, I bombed that luck check by like double my luck score. So
Wow.
my luck is 36. I think I rolled exactly double. I rolled a 72.
Yeah.
I need to find the Bothan Spies rules here.
So I got about half of the luck that I spent on that.
Oh, good.
Knowing about Troy's drug use back. I spent 7 for that, and I
Totally
got 4
worth
back.
it. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Net loss of 3 luck points.
That's hilarious.
All right, skill checks. Let's see. Some of these are bound to improve, given that.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Although I don't know, you might roll like a 5 or something.
6 of these are 30 and
God damn,
below.
I'm getting good at accounting. I just got 12 points in accounting.
I mean, you're working with Kristan a lot. Like, you gotta learn something.
Well, there's my amazing. Yeah, so with my 28 accounting, I just rolled an extreme success. So no, that does not improve.
Oh.
I rolled a 3.
Oh shit.
On my 28 accounting. So yeah, my accounting does not get any better.
Computer goes up by 2.
Hey.
We don't roll for credit rating, correct?
That is correct.
Except I do have a note that I am allowed to roll for credit rating on this one.
Yeah, I remember there was something that Troy could for some reason. I can't remember why, but I do recall.
Yeah, I just have a note. I'm allowed to make a check to increase credit rating at the end of this adventure.
Cool.
And I don't remember what it was for.
I can't remember.
Your credit rating is so low. I can only imagine it's like you happen to find 100 credits somewhere useful.
I think it was something like a part of our reward for the adventure.
Yeah.
Watch me fuck up my credit rating roll, or rather, not fuck up my credit rating roll. No, that totally fucks up my credit rating roll. All right.
Hey, we haven't been again.
No, hey. How's it going?
We are in a. Oh, you're muted.
They had me in and out. They rolled their eyes when I told them.
Makes sense.
Yep. We are doing advancement, Ben.
Yes. And
They reached a milestone by Ken pushing a ridiculous amount of luck into it.
You should explain your logic on that push roll, kid.
Okay, it was a good. I love it.
Really clever.
I want to be clear. Like, I love that so much.
Yeah, no, that was super clever.
So I made a piloting roll to basically, like, we're exploring this ice planet, and I missed the piloting roll by 1, so I pushed luck into it, and then realized that we also had the +10 modifier to piloting from our little nodes that we got, and realized that rather than putting an additional +1 into that roll, I could put 19 points into it and change it from a success to an extreme success. And I'm like,
because his piloting skill is so low that the difference between a success and an extreme success is not actually that large because his piloting skill's so bad.
So we actually located the Imperial installation where they're building this thing. Like, we know
nice.
we were just trying to find like a good cave to land in, and we were like, oh, that's the facility we're looking for.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, I love
Were
that.
there any skills rolled that I had not?
You rolled computer, investigation, and accounting, so probably not. Nope. I think you had probably rolled all of those already. We did spend 9 points of luck. For if you're okay with that,
that's fine.
You had 73, so I was like, that seems reasonable. 9 points out of 73.
So it's 64 now.
Yeah, it should be at 64. What is? Can someone link the document again about when to roll how much dice? Because I have not got that on hand. I did improve my disguise skill, which is good.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, Ben, I rolled to improve my abominable accounting skill, which is 28, and I rolled an extreme success.
Nice.
So I did not improve.
Nice.
Did not improve.
Rolled a
Troy
3.
did. Troy got 12.
Yeah, Troy did.
Well, it is it's a good excuse to keep me alive. All right. Bothan Spies. Okay, so roll accounting.
6 of those luck points back.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I did improve accounting.
Wow, nice.
Rolled a 93. That'll do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see.
Good. My disguise score almost doubled.
Really?
I rolled to advance it, and I only have a 12 disguise.
Oh, okay.
So I bombed my 12 disguise score, but then I rolled 10. It's 2d8 because it's so low.
Yeah.
I rolled a 7 and a 3, so I've now got 22.
Hey.
It's now at 74.
That's almost passable.
Ooh, max on that D4. Cool.
Whoa, and I just rolled a 79 for computer.
Oh my God! What?
Glad you're getting your. I'm rolling amazingly low rolls on my checks here.
Oh,
so
no.
That's not helping me. So far, I've rolled a 3 and a 13.
It only went up by 1, so that counter. Well, I mean, 77 computer.
I was going to say
that's pretty solid.
Once you're in that 60-70 range, even a 1 point increase is pretty cool.
Okay, did not improve electronics. And let's see about investigate. Did not improve investigate. And did get luck.
Oh,
does luck what's the luck roll? It's different
1d10.
from
It's just a D10.
1d10. Okay.
My law also almost doubled from 6 to 11.
Oh, hey.
But I somehow passed my 20 electronics check and my 35 investigation check.
Oh, man.
Okay.
And my 54 insight check.
Rolled an 8 to improve luck, so I only lost 1 from that push you did. So works out nicely.
I had like 4 skills that were below 25 that I conceivably could have bumped, and all 4 of them I rolled like 0, 0 something.
That was mine. I was rolling. I rolled almost all my rolls have been
man.
OT.
It's fine. I bumped. Let's see. Pilot is now up to 30, so a full
good.
12 points. Accounting is up to 30. I'm better at accounting than I am at most other things.
That's kind of hilarious.
Yep.
And I got my computer above 50%, so that's good.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, that's good.
Unfortunately, stealth only went from a 28 to a 30. That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, out of my 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, one. I guess credit rating doesn't count because I wasn't rolling for that. So 1, 2, 3, 9 skills. I only advanced 3.
Oh.
Which is unfortunate. My disguise went from a 12 to a 22. My law went from an 11 or from a 6 to an 11, and my persuade went from a 30 to a 37.
Interesting. I'm not proposing that we do this, but based on our Tuesday night games, I am wondering if it makes more sense to like Troy's piloting improving makes a lot of sense to me because he got 2 like ridiculously good rolls with it. I wonder if like coming up with a mechanism where you would roll for like you would make a tick mark each time you use a skill, and then you would roll for each tick mark that you had. I think that would result in almost a guaranteed increase to the skill potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe for certain skills, like skills where you could reasonably improve.
Or we each choose, 3, 4, 5 skills that are particularly relevant for our character and get that advantage with those skills.
Like,
but that would not be based on use though.
No, it still would. You'd still have to
like you would mark like
only
for
those
those couple
skills
of ones
you're
you mark how
regularly
many
trying
times
to
you use it
use
and roll
multiple
it that many
times
times.
and that fit your character mechanic would be
as opposed to just doing that for every skill.
Okay, interesting.
And maybe max it at say 3 ticks so that it's not
You're not just rolling an overwhelming number of
gazillion, yeah.
Because if we did that with Kristan's computer,
yeah, right.
I'd be rolling 7, 8 computer.
Yeah, exactly.
But 3, that's a marked benefit,
right?
Without being ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm fine with any which way.
Yeah, I will say I feel like the system is pretty lenient as is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's already. If we're just going by the rules as written, it should only be allowed when to put a tick when you succeed at a skill, not just when you attempt to use it.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's true.
I'm perfectly. I feel like it's more than fair, especially since it seems like we're not necessarily looking at 6 or 7 or 8 games in between.
Right.
If we're going to be having the opportunity to bump every 3 or 4 games, I feel like this is quite.
I think it's probably good as.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, which is kind of my tentative goal. Though again, depends on what you all accomplish. But
no, I thought that this was like a generous sort of approach, because you could have also just said, no, this adventure isn't over until you actually infiltrate the blah blah blah.
Right.
And that's probably like another 4 games down the line.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then the state of things where we are right now, by the way, we got a lot of information on a lot of the planets. I can send it to you if you want the what I wrote up for them.
Cool.
But we got a good bit of data on them. We decided we narrowed it down to Troy made 2 choices of like either the planet with the Wookiees on it, where the Wookiees like no industry exists because the Wookiees attack anybody who tries to set up industry there, or this frozen hellscape of a planet that's like very Hoth-like. And I was like, the not Wookiee planet sounds great. Yeah.
Varlo didn't want to get murdered by Wookiees, although I really wanted to run that COD back because you would definitely have gotten murdered by Wookiees.
Varlo was like, no hesitation. Like, yeah, that one sounds good. Like he did not want to deal with the Wookiees. To the point of like Ken actually had Troy roll like a insight check, I think, against Varlo, trying to see if he could figure out why it's like, does he have something against Wookiees? But yeah, so we decided to go to the Hoth looking planet. We got a couple of things as prep. So if you want to mark on your sheet that you have some gear, we have a little bit of gear. We each have, did we each get a flare gun? I can't remember if that was like, okay. So we each got a flare gun with like 3 charges. We've each got a little portable heat torch. Think like you break it like a glow stick and it'll keep a little area warm for a couple of hours. We've each got one of those. And we got like parkas and other, cold weather clothing. And then the last thing was a big giant, the equivalent of like a car cover, like a giant tarp for the ship so that it doesn't get all clogged up with snow. That was our gear acquisitions.
I'm going to hop off, you guys. Please, I think Ben, you already emailed me. Kristan, thank you. Everybody else email me your character sheets that are updated. And yeah, I'll see some of you in a little bit, and then we'll play this in. Let me just make sure, actually, my schedule is a little bit crowded.
I remember there's a week coming up that I didn't see the game on the calendar.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
But no, in 2 weeks, yeah, the 1st of October, we'll be playing again.
Okay, I think I'm good on that one. I need to double check.
Okay.
It's the week after that was blank off the calendar.
Yeah,
the 8th.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right, great. Thanks, you guys.
Sounds good. See you shortly.